We now turn our attention to the second of the congregations mentioned in the Revelation, the congregation located in Smyrna. Smyrna is another of the port cities located about 40 miles north of Ephesus. It had a long-standing tradition of being allies with Rome, and it was also one of the imperial Roman judicial centers. Its population was cosmopolitan, Greek, Jewish, Roman, primarily business people and merchants. It had a long and rich history, purported to be the birthplace of Homer. It was also the place where the first provincial athletic competitions were held. In terms of its religion, the city's welfare was guarded by the mother goddess, Meter, or sometimes called Cybele, but yet a wide variety of Greco-Roman gods and goddesses were also worshipped there. The imperial cult had a strong following in Smyrna. The sense of the emperor as maybe not quite God yet, but at least son of God. As such, the Christians were under great social pressure to accommodate the Greco-Roman religious practices. For failure to do that was to put the welfare of the whole city in jeopardy. And so the pressure was constantly on to adopt and to practice. The Jewish community in Smyrna was centuries old, as it was in Ephesus. And like in Ephesus, the Christian community were the new kids on the block. The earliest the congregation is mentioned is in the mid-50s, but probably isn't really well established until almost the writing of the Revelation, somewhere around the year 85. Many of the Christians in the Smyrna congregation may have been former Jews. Christians appear, according to Revelation, of the poorer class, contrasted with the great amount of wealth that is surrounding them, that others seem to be enjoying. This poverty is contrasted in the Revelation by the riches of faith. Present faith is supported by the promise of future blessings, those that will come in the age to come. We find in the Revelation, as it talks about Smyrna, a sense of paradox. For Christians appear to be poor, and yet they are rich. Those who denounce them claim to be Jews, and yet are revealed as not being Jewish. For if they were really Jews, they would denounce the Greco-Roman practices as well. But instead they point their fingers at Christians. Affliction will come, but it will have its limits. 10 days, a nice round number, a short period of time. Resurrection is God's favorable verdict, and further judgment will not be necessary for the faithful in the congregation in Smyrna. No second death awaits them, no last judgment. So what did you hear as you read through these verses? What were the words? What were the images that caught your attention? How are they being reflected in your life today? Do you hear those words, those images, or see those images around you? Where do you find yourself poor? Where are your riches or your blessings to be found? And where do you go for hope? Again, I invite you, if you're doing this alone, to journal your answers. If you're doing it together, have a nice conversation around those questions, maybe over dinner tonight. Thank you.